Welcome to my channel, all set ready. So it's been so long since I put my last video. Okay, so today what we are going to do is we are going to change the engine oil by ourselves for our fordaspire. And this procedure is going to be common for all fordaspire, freestyle and also EcoSport. So for that I purchased few parts from Woodmore. So let me show what are the parts that are required. So first thing that we require is engine oil. So this is the engine oil that I have chosen, and there are certain reasons and criteria for choosing this particular engine oil. That for choosing the engine oil I'll put a separate video. And here the quantity that we require is 3.8 to 4 liters. So what I did, I bought a 3.5 liter and 1 liter in extra. So in case after 5,000 if they are selling for top up, we can do that. So this is the first thing. The second thing that we require would be this one. So this is the oil filter that we have to use. There are two models available, and the one that we require for our particular model is this zigzag type model. That's very important. So everything is genuine sport parts which I ordered through Woodmore. I will post the part numbers in the description. So 1, 2, and the next thing that we have to look over is the air filter. So for every service that I do, I will replace the air filter. That is for every 10,000 kilometers once. Whatever the condition might be, I will not clean the air filter, rather I will just replace it. So this also the OEM one. So 3. And the next thing we have to, this is 4. And the next thing we have to take care is the small thing. This is drain plug, which everyone uses the same, but every time I do replace this also along with the oil change. And this just costs 43 rupees, so it's better to replace every time. So oil, air filter, oil filter, and this drain plug. This is more than enough for an oil change. Apart from this, I will also replace my AC filter every time. So that is every 10,000. Whatever the condition might be, I will just replace it. This is also OEM, and this costs around 497. So I will post the part number and price separately in the description. So only these 4 are the parts that I am going to change. For this, what are the tools required? Okay. So first thing that would require is to unplug the engine drain plug. We require 21 mm socket. So it's a 21 mm hexagonal 6-pin socket. And then to remove the oil filter. So this is the oil filter. So to remove that, we require this 27 mm socket, and this is also going to be an hexagonal. And for this I need a ratchet, and since the oil plug would be deep inside, I am using an extension. So only these are the tools that are mainly required. So 21 mm, 27 mm, an extension rod, and a socket head. Apart from that, I have this one. So this is mainly to remove the air filter. We are using I believe T25. Let me check and let you know. So we may require this one and its ratchet, or it may be a normal spanner, that's fine. Even an anal key might help, but since I have this tool already, I'm going to use this. Okay, now let's get into the demo. I'll show you everything from the beginning. Okay, so to remove the air filter, we have to remove the 4 screws, and those are T25, and also these 2 screws to remove this particular pipe, so that we can access the oil filter. And apart from that, we have to go down and identify the drain plug, so from which the engine oil would be draining. Okay, so before we begin our process, we will just check our existing engine oil. So it's 9,500 km ran in its previous change. It's too black. And okay, so let's put it back. Okay, so and the next thing that we have to check is the coolant level. So if you see the coolant, it's in the max, so we are good to go. Okay, so we are done with the pre-checks, so we are good to go. So the first step we have to do is we have to remove the air filter box. So for this I have to unscrew 4 screws, and these are T25. Okay, so once this is done, next thing we have to do is we have to remove the pipe that is connecting, right? So for that I have to unscrew that with a normal screwdriver. And also these pipes are easy to remove and put it back in its place because it has its own place to get adopted. So there is no worries to remove this. It's an easy process. So once I remove this, so that's air filter. It's a 9,500 kilometer run air filter. It's too dirty actually, so it's good to replace. And the next thing is we have to remove that air filter box. So for that I have to unplug this one. So that's a small clip, and that also, that's a straightforward one. But being the first time, it actually takes some time, but you can get used to it. Okay. So we just have to pull it ideally, that's the thing. So yeah, it came out now. It's easy, so just tilt and bring it out. And it has no connections at the bottom. It's a direct, it's just a normal box. Just take it, and if you see it's too dirty inside. Okay, before putting it, we'll just wipe it out and we'll put it back. So now let's go down and let's unplug the drain plug. With this one is 21 mm hex socket, 21. So I just removed it. Just keep a vessel or something at the bottom to collect 4 liters of engine oil. So I will just unplug this one. So yeah, I have loosened it. It's T20, it's 21 mm hex socket. You can catch the screw, but I just missed it, so it went inside the cab oil drain. Yeah, that's fine. So the oil is draining now. And now we are going to remove the oil filter. So for this, I'm going to attach the extension in my ratchet. And to that attachment, I'm going to put 27 mm. So 27 mm hex socket. So I'm just attaching it again. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, so that is the one. So you can directly place it there. And you have to remove. It's like just normal unscrewing our regular screw. So looks to be easy. I think it got required loose, so now we can take it out with our regular hands. Yeah, so it came out. Just ensure there is no oil spill. And now what we have to do is we have to remove this oil filter from this place. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an old cloth. We'll just hold it, and there is a clip at the top. If you see, there is a clip at the top. Just press it and pull it. Yeah, so it's removed. So it's as easy as it is. So now what we can do is we can just wipe out the leftover oil in this particular cap. And also we have to remove the o-ring, the old rubber o-ring, right? So every service, when you replace, we have to replace this o-ring, and that would be available along with the new oil filter when you buy from Butmo or something. Okay, so it has been removed. So we will just wipe it off with a old cloth to neat and clean, so that completely we can wipe off the old oil. Yeah, it's clean now, so there is no dirt of oil there. Okay, in the meanwhile, let's go and check what happened to the engine oil. So whether it has drained completely. Yep, I could see it has drained completely, but still there are few drops coming out. Okay, so let it drain. In the meanwhile, we'll clean our oil filter location. And if you see there's a small spring. It's a tensioner. Just press and see its freeness, just to ensure if it's free to move. Okay, So now we will take our new oil filter. So the o-ring is there in the pack. Okay, so we will put this o-ring first in that cap. It's a very simple one. It automatically goes and sits in its position. So we may wonder, so how to, where to place this, but it actually goes and sits in its location automatically. So if you see, it automatically gets sit in one particular location. And then what you have to do is, we have to take our oil filter, and wherever the green color is marked, right, so that one has to be the top. Just place it inside the cap. Just a small press by pressing the above clip. Yeah, it got locked. That's it. Very simple. So now we are done with the oil filter, so we can put it back in its place. Before that, just apply the old oil so that there will be some oil slack in this particular cap, because threads actually needs to have oil, right? That's the reason. It's a kind of small lubrication. So once this is done, we have to just place it back in its position. Very simple. Okay, so made some hand tight. So next thing we have to do is, we have to do the reverse process. We have to take out 27 mm ratchet and we have to tighten it up. And even this tightness level, right, so when you tight, you will get to know at what point we have to stop. This is also a very simple step. Yeah, so here it stops. Okay, so once this is done, we will just place the air filter box in this particular place. It's a straight fit. There'll be just 2 clips, and we have to follow the same step what we have done during removal of this one. And next we have to place our new air filter in its position. So here is my new air filter. I'm just going to keep it in its position, and the next step is I have to close this box, and also I have to connect that pipe. So that pipe is too dirty, so I think I can clean that again. Yeah, so yes, it's done, and now I have to just place it in its position. That's it. So now what I have to do is, I have to screw those 2 regular screws and these 4 T25 screws. So we are done mostly with all the steps. So the next thing is, we have to put this drain plug and the engine oil. So before that, I'm just cleaning this drain plug with the WD-40 to degrease the existing engine oil or dirt that we have over here. So once it's done, just wipe it off thoroughly. And then what you have to do is, we have bought the drain plug, the small o-ring, right? So just I have to place that o-ring or washer, whatever it might be. So we are just going to place it in this particular drain plug. So that's going to be a straight fit. Okay, so now what we can do is, we have to place this drain plug back in its position and tighten it with 21 mm hex socket or hex spanner. It's a regular normal tight. For sure, there will be no oil drop or oil leak. So once this is done, the next thing is, we have to pour our engine oil. So it's a new sealed pack. This can be opened with our regular screwdriver. Okay, so I have made a funnel myself with an existing water bottle. Always using funnel would be a better option because there will be no spillage of oil anywhere. So ensure that you pour your oil slowly into the engine. Yeah, so this should be the constant speed. It should be poured very slowly. And also to mention, the capacity of our engine is 3.8 liter. So we are done with engine oil. Next, what you have to do is we have to just check whether we have poured the right amount of engine oil. That we can check with the dipstick. So take the dipstick, wipe it off thoroughly with a good cloth because it's something component that's related to engine, right? So always use a good cloth. So dip it again. That will show the accurate value. Just press it fully. So if you see here, so there is a max mark, so near my hand, right? So that's the max mark. Ensure that the oil level never goes beyond that point because that is the maximum allowed level. So for us, I believe it's right. So let's check once again. Okay, so it is in this mark, so we are good to go, which means we have completed our process completely. Complete service has been done. So our car is ready to run for the next 10,000 kilometers hassle free. And for the AC cabin filter, I will post a separate video on the same. And thank you all for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.